You won't believe what happened to Jake Lloyd after his iconic role as young Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. And the story isn't what you'd expect. He was just 8 years old when he starred in one of the most anticipated films of all time. But the fame and the intense fan scrutiny proved to be more than a curse than a blessing.
Jake Lloyd, aka Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, I'm sorry.
I was 9 years old when the Star Wars Phantom Menace came out, and I fell in love with it. I remember looking up to Jake Lloyd. I was a young kid when the Phantom Menace came out, and for me, seeing him on screen like that was like watching my childhood dreams come to life. I was captivated by his portrayal as Anakin, a young boy thrust into the galaxy full of adventure and destiny. But for Jake, what seemed like the role of a lifetime became an inescapable nightmare. Let's start at the beginning. Jake Matthew Lloyd was born in Fort Collins, Colorado in 1989, and got into acting relatively early in his childhood, with TV shows such as The ER and the Christmas movie Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hi, buddy.
But his life changed forever when George Lucas cast him out of 3,000 other hopeful young children. At just 8 years old, Jake Lloyd was thrown into the chaos of the middle of one of the most beloved and anticipated franchises in history. But after the film's release in 1999, the story took a darker turn. The Phantom Menace was met with mixed reviews, but the backlash from the fandom was relentless. Fans were vocal, and some were downright brutal. One of their biggest targets, Jake Lloyd. Critics and Star Wars purists felt that Anakin was too childish, too far removed from the menacing figure they envisioned that would become Darth Vader. The dialogue didn't help either, with awkward lines such as,
"Are you an angel?"
What?
"An angel."
I remember hearing fans go on and on about how Anakin ruined the film. The internet, still in its early days, was flooded with hate. And can you imagine being just 9 or 10 years old and having the whole world criticize your performance in a movie that was that massive? The weight of the criticism crushed young Jake. He was just a child doing his best. He did exactly what George Lucas asked of him, but he became the face of the prequel's failure in the eyes of angry fans. And the bullying didn't stop either. Jake faced constant torment from his classmates. He'd share interviews about how the kids at school would mock him relentlessly, quoting his lines from the movie and picking on him to the point where he dreaded going to school.
They wouldn't let it go, so you know how they can be in high school. They're so charming and intelligent. Awesome people.
It just wasn't his peers bullying him either. The media wouldn't leave him alone. Imagine living your life with paparazzi in your face and critics picking apart every move you made in a movie, all before you even hit your teenage years. Jake's mother later revealed that this relentless bullying and pressure drove him to quit acting in 2001, just 2 years after The Phantom Menace released. But Jake's struggles didn't end with his early retirement. His mental health took a severe downturn in the years following his exit from Hollywood. Initially, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but it was later discovered that Jake was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. This led to years of delusions and hallucinations, where he'd experienced alternate realities, where he even thought he was talking to people on the TV like Jon Stewart.
What the fuck?
His mental illness became debilitating, making it impossible for even a semblance of a normal life. In 2015, Jake's struggles made headlines again when he was involved in a high-speed police chase in South Carolina.
Let go. Use the Force.
This led to his arrest and subsequent transfer to a psychiatric facility. His life had spiraled out of control, and his family was desperately trying to get him the help that he needed. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get any worse, Jake's family faced another disaster. In 2018, his younger sister, Madison, passed away unexpectedly. Her death shattered what stability Jake had left. But if you think that's where the story ends, there's more. You might be wondering, what's Jake up to now? In 2024, Jake's mother provided another heartbreaking update. Jake had recently undergone another inpatient stay for his mental health, battling schizophrenia. It's been a long, painful road for Jake and his family, but they're still fighting for his recovery. There's no fairy tale ending to this story. There's at least a small glimmer of hope, however. Jake was recently released from inpatient care and lives close to his family as he continues treatment. His mother shared that despite everything that he's gone through, he remains a kind and gentle soul, still holding on to that spark that made him a household name. I've got some recent pictures of Jake that I'll share here, images of him post-release. Seeing him today, you could still recognize the boy that once played Anakin Skywalker, but you could also see the years and the toll that mental health has taken on him. It's a stark reminder of the human cost of fame, particularly when it comes to child stars. As I look back on The Phantom Menace, a film that will always hold a special place in my heart, because it was such a big part of my childhood, it's hard not to feel a deep sense of empathy for Jake. We were the same age, and I went through many of the same hardships that he did, however not on the same scale. I saw him as an iconic figure, a hero in a galaxy far, far away. But in reality, he was just a kid thrust into the spotlight way too soon and too hard. His story is a cautionary tale about what happens when we fans, and as a culture entirely, forget that actors, especially child actors, are just real people with emotions, just like you and me. Jake Lloyd was more than Anakin Skywalker. He was a boy with dreams, much like the character he played, but those dreams were overshadowed by the cruelty of an industry that takes too much and gives too little, and a fan base that often forgets that kindness goes a lot further than criticism. So as we remember Jake Lloyd's portrayal as Anakin Skywalker, let's not forget that the toll that fame and bullying can have, and let's hope that with continued support and treatment, Jake Lloyd can find some peace. His story, like Anakin's, is a tragedy, but it's not over yet. There's still hope. May the Force be with him. Please give this a like, share this story, comment, let me know what you think. Let's give some shout outs to Jake Lloyd. Let's rally behind him and give him some support in this hard time. Thanks for watching this episode, and may the Force be with us all.
Well, there it is. There's my name. It's another check for Daddy.